Good afternoon. My name is Ariel, and today I'd like to talk about traditional grass lawns and why they might not be so great for our environment. With the rapid growth of single-family homes being developed all around Florida, there's a growing number of people buying those homes, and everyone here knows someone or has known someone who has bought a new development. It's liberating, right? Your first home. Now you get to decorate it, have holidays there, fix your own plumbing if it breaks, take care of your lawn, water it, put weed killer on, fertilizer on so the HOA doesn't fine you, buy a mower, a leaf blower, an edge trimmer, should I get gas or electric? It's a lot to maintain for a single lawn, let alone hundreds of thousands popping up around Florida. But I'm not here to talk about which lawnmower to get or which pesticides to use. Instead, I'd like to tell you about what goes on behind the scenes and how it impacts our environment. Grass is everywhere. There's no getting around that. But if we have the ability to combat that toll that man-made traditional grass lawns take on Florida native ecosystems, we should be aware of it, right? Our world has been suffering an environmental crisis for as long as I can remember, so if teaching you about something as small as the harmful aspects of traditional grass lawns will make a difference, then that's what I'll do. Grass is not the only option for a beautiful lawn either, and by exploring other options, we can work towards making a positive impact on our water sources, biodiversity, and most importantly, our planet. During my first semester of college, I read the book There Is No Planet B, which started my love for learning about environmental sustainability. As you're listening, I invite you to keep an open mind and imagine what the world would look like with this one difference. I'm not going to try to sell you on anything in particular, but I would like you to think about my points next time you do maintenance on your lawn. To begin, I'd like to discuss the excessive amount of water usage grass lawns require. Then I'll talk about biodiversity or lack thereof, and then I'll cover how lawn maintenance, chemical and synthetic fertilizers contribute to the growing pollution and carbon emissions problem. And to conclude my speech, I will then discuss the alternatives and how they can be beneficial to our environment. Keeping your lawns pristine takes a lot more work than you would expect. During the hot summer days, especially in Florida, a homeowner will have to water the lawn as much as 4 times a week in 30-minute sessions to keep it looking good. With the population rapidly growing, the building of neighborhoods do too. According to the EPA, around 1/3 of residential water use in the U.S. goes towards irrigating lawns and gardens. This high water demand strains our natural resources, particularly in regions that are already experiencing drought. One of the most commonly used grasses for lawns is Kentucky bluegrass, which is not naturally adapted to withstand long periods of droughts or intense heat and is not naturally adapted to Florida's environment. With our climate getting warmer and warmer, lawns will require more and more water. Excessive watering is a major issue, and the lack of biodiversity is also another large factor into why traditional grass lawns are not environmentally friendly. Back to my point of Florida building neighborhoods left and right, this means native land is being destroyed. Traditional grass lawns, while visually appealing, often create what is known as a monoculture, which is a landscape with only one type of species. A man from the Department of Wildlife Conservation, Mark Holster, says that replacing lawns with a monoculture can impact surrounding environments, altering habitats in ways that exclude native plants and animals. Now, why is biodiversity so important? It's important because it's the cornerstone for healthy ecosystems and has a diverse range of species, ensuring stability in ecosystem and allowing for adaptations to changing environmental conditions, including climate change. Sticking to non-native grass lawns cycle out essential bugs and animals and plants that thrive in native plants and provide vital ecological functions like pollination, nutrient cycling, and water filtration. Because grass lawns offer little to no habitat for native insects and animals, an elimination of one species can have a butterfly effect that can lead to the destruction of an entire ecosystem. In America, over 40 million acres of land is covered by turf grasses. That's a lot. As a result, this has caused an uproar of non-native and invasive plants in areas where they should not be, especially in Florida. While grass lawns do act as a carbon sink, soaking up the carbon dioxide from the environment, it is heavily outweighed by what is used to maintain them. Gas-powered lawn equipment, as I stated earlier, and chemical and synthetic fertilizers not only release toxic carbon emissions, but also have the potential to create what is known as dead zones in surfaces and groundwater due to pollination caused by fertilizer. A typical gas-powered lawnmower that is only run for 1 hour is equivalent to a truck that travels 500 miles. Additionally, lawn mowers are responsible for more than 5% of all air pollution in the United States. There is a quote from Princeton University that said, "Gas-powered leaf blowers, lawn mowers, and similar equipment in the state could produce more ozone pollution than the millions of cars running in California combined." Nevertheless, with alternative lawn solutions, excessive maintenance is not a requirement, as the natural ecosystem will keep it upstanding and nice. Xeriscaping options and ground cover options require very little to no mowing, as most of them are slow-growing plants anyways. Alternatives like native plants, drought-resistant ground covers, and xeriscaping also use far less water once they're established. A plant like pink moey grass, which is a native grass to Florida, once it's established, it flourishes, not to mention how the wildlife benefits. Drought-resistant ground covers, like some types of moss and clovers, are designed to thrive with less water and personally look great doing so. Xeriscaping minimizes water use by incorporating native plants, mulch, and rocks to create an aesthetically pleasing look, however you would like to decorate it as. Another one is salt meadow cordgrass. It's another Florida native species, and it's also slow growing and doesn't require a whole lot of water once it's established. And it also kind of looks like a meadow you would want to run in. It can also act as a habitat for birds, and some type of geese feed on it. Frog fruits, those little purple flowers that we would find in our yards as a kid, are perfect ground covers for lawns in Florida. As I said before, clover is a great option as well. Not only is it super soft ground cover and keeps the natural soil soft and reduces the nitrous oxide emissions by up to 40%. It attracts pollinators like bees and butterflies, as well as natural predators like ladybugs. And there's also so many benefits to growing a clover lawn if you don't like the native plant route. To wrap this up, having a perfect picture lawn leads to a lot of negative environmental impacts. As I said before, there's a few factors in having traditional grass lawns that are large contributors to this issue. The excessive use of our water sources to keep the lawns alive, the equipment that's used to maintain them, causing excessive carbon emissions, then the use of synthetic and chemical fertilizers, which cause pollution in the air and water, and the impact it has on biodiversity. So, as I come towards the end of my speech, I hope you can understand that traditional grass lawns are not the only option for our lawns, and instead are informed of all of the different environmentally friendly options. And by learning about options like native plants, ground covers, and xeriscaping, we can have a better environmentally informed and make choices that benefit both our own spaces as well as our Florida ecosystem. There is never a good time like now to work with nature and not against it. Thank you for your time.